Well, I'm so happy to see all of you here, my friends, standing with me every day as we fight for the people of Maryland and for the future of our great country. From day one, our goal was to re-elect President Barack Obama. Now, there are still many ballots to be counted. We're still waiting for results to come in. But I tell you, I am very proud that Maryland is helping to make history again tonight with President Obama. Thanks to great friends like all of you, we'll never lose track of our desire to connect with the voters of Maryland in a real, honest way. We steered clear of mudslinging. Unfortunately, that was not true with one of our opponents. I am proud of the race that we ran and the responsible way that we ran it. We focused on real accomplishments that have made a real difference in people's lives. Like Ray in Salisbury, we fought General Motors to keep his Chevy dealership from being unfairly closed. Jobs were saved because he's still in business. We fought for Eric and Cynthia from Silver Spring, who, when I first met them, were stuck with 2 expensive health insurance plans for their family of 4 because of pre-existing conditions. Discrimination based on pre-existing conditions is now a thing of the past, and families are being protected from the abuses of big insurance companies. Quality, affordable health care is now a right in America, not a privilege. We fought for Catherine, a nursing student at Hagerstown Community College, who have had to put her training on hold if the Democrats had not kept interest rates on her student loan from doubling. We fought to extend the life of Medicare Trust Fund, expanded preventive benefits, and closed the prescription drug gap for people like Doretha from Baltimore City and Deborah from Caroline County. We fought to restore the health of the Chesapeake Bay so watermen like Danny from Deal Island can keep harvesting those oysters that keep our wholesalers and restaurants supplied and keep quality jobs right here in Maryland. We fought for Viola, one of the hundreds who attended our foreclosure prevention workshop. She spent 3 years trying to do the right thing to save her home. But we got it done by connecting her to the right people in time. And yes, we fought for the memory of DeMonte Driver to guarantee dental coverage for every child in America through the CHIP program and through the Affordable Care Act. A tooth infection should never cost a child his or her life, not in our country. We kept our game plan despite the curveballs thrown at us, including being surprisingly outspent, greater than 4-to-1 in advertising. And of course, there was Hurricane Sandy, who decided to turn early voting on its head for a few days. Please join me for a moment to reflect on the recent suffering brought about by that powerful storm. For our Maryland family and our neighbors in New Jersey and New York, we send out our prayers and love for those who have lost and those who are forced to rebuild. Let us take a moment to applaud the incredible first responders and the emergency management personnel. They are still hard at work, dealing with the flood damage on the Eastern Shore and digging out from the snows in Western Maryland. Because of their dedication, lives were saved, and most of us found our way back to a near state of normal. Do every day for our country. It is at times like these that we truly understand that the things we share are so much greater than anything that divides us. If only we could bottle all that energy and enthusiasm and civility that overtakes our country during a disaster, we would be able to tackle any and every challenge before us, not as Democrats or Republicans, but simply as Americans working towards a common goal. I make no apologies for standing up for my democratic values, but I have been proud of my ability to work successfully with my colleagues from across the aisle. We need more civility in our country. We need more people who understand that compromise and cooperation are how our nation moves forward, and not bad words that keep us in separate corners. We must face the reality and tackle the fiscal challenge facing our country. Together, we cannot leave our children a pile of crippling debt any more than we can leave them polluted air or contaminated water or deny them quality education. We need to set partisanship aside to develop a balanced approach that considers reasonable cuts in spending with fair tax reform. No one, especially the middle class, should bear this burden alone. And we can no longer make the federal employees a scapegoat for every fiscal problem we face. We need to set partisanship aside to invest in programs that help kick our economy into high gear, like clean energy, so that not only do we use less fuel and save money, we create domestic jobs that allow more Americans to take home a paycheck, pay taxes, and lower the burden for everyone. And we need to set partisanship aside and make the investments necessary to ensure that we have a skilled, educated workforce that can fill the needs of these new technology-driven jobs. We need to set partisanship aside and invest in job-creating, life-saving, American-made innovation at the National Institutes of Health, Johns Hopkins, the University of Maryland, and the growing ranks of biotech companies that have made Maryland the proud global center of private-public medical research and discovery. And as Marylanders, we have learned that we must set partisanship aside if we are to successfully restore the health of the Chesapeake Bay. A healthy bay means a healthy economy for Maryland and our region. We can do it. These are my priorities that will keep our nation moving forward. It's out there. We just have to come together and work for it. I'm ready, and I hope that you're ready also. There are some special friends that I want to acknowledge this evening. First, my special friend in the Senate. There have been difficult times during the past 6 years, but I've had a dynamic partner, a true friend, a wise advisor, and a trusted ally who knows how to get results. My Senate friend, Senator Barbara Mikulski. And my friends in the House of Representatives who had great victories today. A passionate voice for the middle class and the disadvantaged, who fights every day for all of us to be able to live the American dream, who has taken God's gift as a great orator to move our government to action. My friend, Congressman Elijah Cummings. My congressman who has our children as his top priority, fighting to protect our environment for future generations and to create jobs we need for our future, my friend Congressman John Sarbanes. He protects our national security. His leadership has helped military families, a true product of Baltimore, my friend Congressman Dutch Rupersberger. We are all blessed in Maryland with a great leader for our state. He has managed our state during tough economic times, maintaining excellence in education, creating good-paying jobs, and protecting our environment. We are all proud of his leadership on human rights issues, marriage equality, the DREAM Act, our friend Governor Martin O'Malley. There are many others that are here tonight. Lieutenant Governor Anthony Brown, I thank him for his extraordinary leadership. Our Mayor, Stephanie Rawlings Blake, she's been an incredible help. The County Executive, Howard County, Ken Ullman, I thank him. And I know I have a lot of my colleagues in the state legislature and the council, and I thank them all for being here and helping in this campaign. A special thank you to my campaign staff and volunteers. You should know that I have people who have volunteered, my fraternity brothers who came in all the way from California to help tonight. I thank them. But I particularly want to give a shout out to Shelley Heddleman, my campaign manager. Who provided the calm but strong leadership that focused our campaign on the issues. She made sure our campaign had the resources to get the message out. Shelley's campaign strategy of establishing a grassroots coordinated campaign more than offset the deep pockets of one of my opponents. She's an incredible leader, and Shelley, I thank you so much for what you've done and all of our staff and volunteers have done. And let's give another shout out to Yvette Lewis, our dynamic leader of the Democratic Party. Before I came out here tonight, I received a phone call from Dan Bongino congratulating me on my election. You learn a lot about the character of a person you run against, and I've gained a great deal of respect for Dan Bongino. Yes, we differ on the issues, but we have much in common. Both of our campaigns have energized grassroots volunteers into the political system. Both of our campaigns were positive and reflect the best traditions of American politics. I wish Dan Bongino and his family well. He ran a good race. I have one more bit of good news before I conclude. The AP has declared John Delaney the next congressman from the 6th Congressional District. I could not have done this without my family. So let me introduce some of my family that's up on the stage with me this evening. My daughter, Deborah, my son-in-law, Jonathan Willis, my granddaughters, Madeline and Julia, and I also have John Cardin who's on the stage. Most of you know when I say I wouldn't be here but for my wife Myrna, you know that I speak the truth. My life partner who shares my passion for public service and justice. And later this month, we will celebrate our 48th wedding anniversary. My best friend, Myrna. So thank you all for being my friend and joining me in this celebration. Now let's move forward together. Thank you.